why the good students often fail to earn money, or rather enough money, in sense the learning and taking exams are two completely different things that share similar underlying logic. So how can we deliberately train to transform our task-taking skills into money-making skills? I'm Olivia. Welcome to my channel. Let's first talk about the common parts between them. Grasping this part can enable us to better directly utilize our own abilities for monetization. As someone who has truly and earnestly studied hard, I really have a deep understanding of this aspect. Of course, all the learning here is by default inclined towards the exam-oriented type because this type is the most typical and has the strongest universality. Both examinations and making money compete within an almost unchanging framework. The framework of examination is constructed by an entire exam-oriented system, while in making money is the social interest distribution mechanism that creates the rules. Neither of them can be controlled by individuals. They are entities that are controlled by groups, or rather by certain groups. Therefore, making money is equivalent to achieving a higher score in the social examination room, and the steps we need to take are similar to preparing for an actual exam. First of all, gather sufficient information, find various subject textbooks that you can access. That is, take a look at the content of all walks of life that you can come into contact with. Secondly, make choices or trade-offs based on the information. Filter out the parts you are most interested in and discard the rest without spending time or energy studying them. Finally, delve further into the chosen field and intensify the exploration efforts. So, where there be any difference, it is precisely in the proportion of these three parts that the distribution between making money and taking exams is completely different. Why? You will understand when I give you the following example. I wonder if you have noticed that when we were in the middle school, if we observed the classmates with excellent grades around us, we would find that their learning methods were all very different and completely unreplicable. And that is to say, applying the set of methods they were accustomed to themselves is completely useless and may even have the opposite effect. Observing any group of people with similar exam results will also lead to the same conclusion. The content they have learned and the effects they have achieved are almost the same, but the methods they have used are completely different because the examination itself leans more towards an inward-seeking process. The evaluation system of the test is to some extent superior to human existence, less influenced by people, and its content and form are relatively fixed. Therefore, the proportion of information collection and screening will decrease, while the part that needs to be explored by oneself when delving into it alone will correspondingly account for a large proportion. Making money, on the other hand, is more of an outward process, strongly linked to society, greatly influenced by people in various forms, with higher degrees of freedom and complexity. Therefore, the shift of the focus of thinking is extremely important. The exam requires you to delve deeply into the standard answers and climb the peak of knowledge alone. To make money, you need to keenly capture social demands and flexibly connect people with resources. The concentration, analytical ability, and execution ability accumulated by good students are extremely valuable assets. However, they must break away from the fixed mindset and devote more energy to the outside world, understanding the people, perceiving trends, and building value connections. I believe this will definitely enable you to transform from a task taker to a money maker. Okay, that's all for today's video. Here's Olivia. Let's build something big together.